Hi friends, this is your pal Scott, and today we are going to talk about how the OSR and the Indy tabletop role-playing game creators became the Democrats and how Dungeons and Dragons became the Republicans. And I think, so we're going to cross the streams today. We're going to talk about D&D, we're going to talk about TTRPGs, but we're also going to talk about politics. All right, so, and how incredibly ironic where we landed has become. So where are we right now? Well, we have passed a huge historical moment in the history of Dungeons and Dragons and the history of tabletop role-playing games. That for D&D is now 50 years old, and for about 30 years, the OSRs and the Indies have come up and really tried legitimately to beat Dungeons and Dragons to become the #1 game in the world, right? And they've done an abominable job of it, like really bad. And I think where we've landed right now is that they've done such a bad job that they're in a worse spot than they've ever been before. I think the OSR and the Indy are farther behind Dungeons and Dragons right now than they have ever been in the 30-year history of actual, real competition between D&D and their OSR and Indy competitors. So, what triggered this new era? Well, it's the Daggerheart Down event. So, so Critical Role built Daggerheart from the ground up. It was born right in the OGL crisis. In my humble opinion, it was one of 3 D&D killer candidates that came up out of the OGL crisis. Tales of the Valiant, done and gone. That thing is not a threat. Daggerheart was absolutely positioned to be a D&D killer. We'll talk about it in one moment. And then finally, MCDM. And MCDM's Draw Steel, which would have mattered if it had come out before Daggerheart. It didn't. And so it's off the board as a D&D killer. So Daggerheart really emerged as a fully formed, fully functioning D&D killer. And everybody was like, okay, you made the weapon. Like, this is the sword that will slay the dragon. Go use it, Critical Role. And they were like, we're going to put it in this nice sheath and put it on a shelf. It's never going to be used to kill D&D, right? Like, in fact, I think they turned it in, and actually, they didn't just put it on a shelf. They turned it into the shards of Narsil. They cracked it, right? They shattered the D&D killer that they created. How did they do that? Campaign 4 came up and everybody said, hey, you did it. You built the best D&D killer that the world has ever seen. We're so excited to see you use it for Campaign 4 and embarrass those suits over at Hasbro. And Critical Role was like, nope, we reject our own game. We reject our own game in favor of Dungeons and Dragons, and that's it. It's cooked into books, people. Like, the OSR and Indy have officially lost for and how long? 20 years. Like, D&D will be top dog for 20 more years. It's guaranteed, in my humble opinion, by the Daggerheart Down situation. All right. So where have we arrived? Well, believe it or not, the OSR and the Indy are so far behind right now that you're starting to hear people realize, oh my gosh, we've been trying for so long, and we keep insisting to the world that Hasbro makes garbage, and that every book is just more pablum. And you're like, okay, I'm hearing you. I'm hearing you, OSR and Indy. Okay, so you guys should easily be able to suppress this garbage pablum, right? But they never are able to. And just win after win after win after win for Dungeons and Dragons. Just nonstop, right? To the point where Dungeons & Dragons has won so soundly at this point and has defeated every OSR and Indy title without a doubt, right? And this Daggerheart Down thing is so embarrassing for the OSR Indy crowd. And so where D&D is at is that, like, it's just like the Republicans. The Republicans have there was this event that should have helped the Republicans. It just happened about a month ago. Should have been a massive win for the Republicans. So why wasn't it? The Republicans are winning so hard under Trump that they don't even have, it's like they've had, it's like one person sitting at a table and 2 fresh, hot, large pizzas have been delivered. You're like, I don't know if I could eat 2 large pizzas. And then, 3 cheesesteaks are delivered. And you're like, we can't consume this. It's too much wind, right? That's where D&D's at. D&D does not need more wind. They are defeating the OSR and Indy easily by every single metric. They're destroying that, right? And they haven't even reached, like, the Death Star is about to become fully operational. And what is that going to be? That Death Star is going to be that Death Star is going to be is going to be fifth edition. Fifth edition. I'm sorry. It's going to be Stranger Things season 5. Like, the level of win that D&D will get out of that is unbelievable, like nothing you've ever seen, right? And the OSR and the Indy they're like the Democrat Party now. Like, I've been listening to Ezra Klein, brilliant guy, and he's like, hey, and the Dems listen to him, the Dem leaders, the Dem commoners, like they listen to him, and he's like, we're in bad trouble. We're in bad trouble, right? Like, we don't have anybody that excites young males. We can't talk to people. We've been condescending. We've been contemptuously condescending to the whole country for years, and now we can't get anybody to listen to us. We have no hope of winning anything on our own. The only hope we have is waiting for Trump to make unforced errors and to get a pendulum win when the pendulum simply swings the other way. We have to stay here. We are so destroyed. We don't have any ability to move the needle right now, and we need to stop and start figuring this out on our own, how to fix our own party. And there's a lot of hopelessness over there because they're like, we just don't know how we're going to do it. And I see this all over the OSR and the Indy. They talk to themselves. They pretend they're winning on metrics that don't matter, because every actual metric they're losing by, right? And so it's super ironic that the OSR and the Indy became the Democrat Party in the TTRPG space, and Dungeons & Dragons is now like Trump, just like winning in ways that people couldn't even imagine previously. It's, like, just unbelievable. Every single word you just heard in this video is my humble opinion, nothing more, nothing less. The important part is when I get to hear your humble opinion, when you get in the comments and send your traffic. Please consider liking and subscribing, and have a fetch millennium.